What's going on, guys? This is Seth Ford here, and today I am back with another college football prediction video. And today I'm going to be talking about ECU going on the road to face off NC State Wolfpack. Yes, NC State versus ECU. I've never done a prediction video like this one before, and this one actually might be a very interesting game because both teams obviously hate each other. I'm a UNC football fan. I dislike NC State, and I don't really care too much about ECU. But it's kind of also funny in a way because NC State tries to ignore ECU as not a rival. Well, in reality, everyone is a rival in in-state, like Wake Forest, ECU, App State. Just every team just does not like each other in general. But we all know it's UNC versus Duke for basketball, and UNC versus State in football. But I know UNC fans don't think of NC State as a rivalry. I still do, which is just logical. It's always fun to just trash talk. So it is funny in a way. So this game is actually going to be an interesting game because it's on a Thursday night. As you guys know, last year NC State lost to ECU in a bowl game, and there was so many fights that game. It was just crazy. This whole just bowl games were crazy. The rival games were crazy. Just so many fights. It was just wild last year. It was just insane to see. So this game will be played on Thursday night, which is August 28th of 2025. Starts at 7 p.m. Eastern time. I am not a huge fan of weekday games. Never was. It just feels like the atmosphere is always dead in the weekdays, and there's no tailgating because you're at work and you go to football games after work. So the whole atmosphere on weekday games never really gives me a good vibe, just in general. So this game will be at NC State, but night games in Raleigh are also pretty epic too. I know that it's fun to go to night games if I'm a UNC fan, but also I bet going to NC State games at night is also epic. So it's just gonna be fun to watch this game because both teams hate each other. So all right, let's go ahead and go to the slideshows. If you guys want to see the end of the video, just go ahead and click the timestamp link on the description below. I'll have it there for you guys. So if you don't want to watch the whole video, just go ahead and watch the final prediction at the end. All right. So last season record, ECU actually had a solid year, even though I think they fired their head coach, going 3-4. They did watching ECU play App State. That was a crazy game because they had a lead in that game, and App State came back and won. So they fired their head coach, and they hired the guy that was interim this year or this past season. So they went 8-5. They finished pretty good, 5-3 in the American. The American is not a bad conference. It's a G5 conference, but still it's a solid conference in my opinion. So they won the Military Bowl against NC State, 26-21. NC State last year, they had a lot of issues. They got a quarterback in the transfer portal, Grayson McCall, and then he just got destroyed in one game, and they just could not do anything offensively. Their defense was kind of lackluster as well. They had a lot of games that were very close last year, so they went 6-7, 3-5, finished 11th in the ACC, and of course they lost to ECU. So this year, Dave Dorn has to have a great season if they want to keep him as the head coach. I understand that they always want to beat UNC, but they need to get over the hump of 9-4 seasons. They always have a 9-4 season, and they always are the underdog, not the underdog, the dark horse of the ACC, the next big school. Anyways, last time meeting, like I said before, last year in the bowl game, ECU won 26-21. So this is why the rivalry game is going to be very interesting. And of course, NC State leads in the series of 19-14. ECU is not bad of a football team either, so they're going to be tough to play, even though it's going to be at Carter Finley Stadium. A location, like I just said, Carter Finley Stadium. It's a pretty good atmosphere. I've been to one of their games a long time ago. Time 7 p.m. on ACC Network. ACC Network. It is what it is. So yeah, there you guys have it for the location. Coaches comparison: Blake Harrell will be. He started out 5-1 as a first-year interim head coach. So now he's the official head coach. Houston, the other guy got fired. Dave Dorn, he's been at NC State for a long time. So for 12 years, 87 wins and 65 losses at NC State. Still pretty good, solid head coach. But I think a lot of NC State fans that can agree on that they are tired of the way his offense is. They're tired of the way the team plays the last 2 or 3 seasons. So he may be on the hot seat this year. Who knows? We'll see how it pans out this year. All right, last year's strength of schedule, ECU had a strength of record of schedule of 81, not so great. Strength of schedule was 126 in the nation. So here we go with the wins and losses. So Norfolk State, they won 42-3. Lost or beat Old Dominion 20-14. They lost to App State 21-19. Lost to Liberty 35-24. Lost to UTSA, or no, they beat UTSA 30-20. Lost to Charlotte 55-24. Good grief. Then they lost to 23 ranked at the time Army 45-28. Beat Temple 56-34. Beat Florida Atlantic 49-14. Beat Tulsa 38-31. They beat North Texas 40-20, and they lost to Navy 34-20. So I guess that's why they fired their head coach in the beginning of the year, because they were just struggling, and they actually came alive. And of course, they beat NC State in the bowl game 26-21. I guess that's why they hired the head coach, the interim head coach. All right, so NC State, woo-wee, but it was a doozy. The first 4 or 5 games for NC State. The Western Carolina game, that was kind of crazy in the first half, but they won 38-21. They got smacked by Tennessee 51-10, and then they almost lost to Louisiana Tech. That was a close game too. They got smacked by Clemson 59-35, but then they beat Northern Illinois, who Northern Illinois beat Notre Dame, which that was crazy too as well. So they beat Northern Illinois 24-17. They lost to Wake Forest 34-30. They lost to Syracuse 24-17. They beat Cal 24-23. Beat Stanford 59-28. They lost to Duke 29-19. Lost to Georgia Tech 30-29. Of course, they always got to figure out how to beat UNC, because that's their number one goal in football, is to always beat UNC. It's always so frustrating as a UNC fan. And of course, they did lose to ECU in the bowl game. All right, so players drafted and signed. How many players got drafted for ECU? Only one player drafted, but there wasn't any signings for drafted free agency. Defensive back Shaven Revel Jr. third round, 76 pick to the Cowboys. So there you guys have it for the drafted and signed players for ECU. All right, so players drafted and signed for NC State. Only one player drafted as well, offensive lineman Anthony Belton. But the undrafted free agents, they did sign 4 players to the free agency, which is offensive lineman Zeke Correll, Vikings, offensive lineman Timothy McKay to the Commanders, defensive back Aiden White to the Jaguars, running back Jordan Waters to the Rams. So not so bad for NC State, though they probably could have had some more draft picks, but they do have a lot of good offensive linemen, so I guess that's like a pipeline for them. So there you guys have it for the drafted players that signed for NC State. Now we go to the transfer portal news. 31 players transfer out of ECU. Wide receiver Derek Brazel to App State. Defensive edge rusher Shaquille Sheik Thompson to Coastal. Defensive back Eric Fletcher to Oklahoma State. Quarterback Jake Garcia to Michigan. Safety CJ safety. I think he's a defensive edge. CJ Mims to North Carolina. And then players transfer out of NC State. Not too much for NC State, so not bad at all. But they did lose a key player, Kamal Bonner, to Miami. Running back Kendrick Raphael to Cal. Wide receiver Dakari Collins to Louisville. Offensive lineman Robbie Martin to West Virginia. We got safety Marcus Cooley to LSU. All right, so players transferring in for ECU. They only had 23 players transferring in. Offensive lineman Drew McClough from Presbyterian. Safety Miles Gaddy from North Carolina. Quarterback Mike Wright from Northwestern. Wide receiver Tyler Johnson from Penn State. Wide receiver Peyton Mangrum from South Carolina. And then from NC State, they only had 18 players transferring in. Athlete Hudson Woolharm from North Carolina. Yikes, that's not great. He's a traitor. Linebacker Bailey Benson from Wake Forest. Linebacker Kenny Soares Jr. from Northwestern. Defensive back Jaron Senzaba from Missouri. Linebacker Sterling Dixon from Alabama. So they have some good, decent guys from some schools coming in. So their defense is going to be interesting to see. All right, so the top 3 players, of course, for offense and for defense: quarterback, running back, wide receiver, and of course, for defense, we got the defensive lineman, linebacker, and the secondary as well. So we got quarterback Caton Hauser. He had 149 completions, 245 attempts, 60.8 completion percentage, 2,006 yards, averaged about 8.2 per throw, 18 touchdowns and 11 interceptions as well. Running back London Montgomery, he had 71 carries, 359 rushing yards, 5.1 yards average per carry, had 2 touchdowns for him last year. Wide receiver Anthony Smith had 41 receptions, 799 receiving yards, averaged about 19.5 per catch, had 6 touchdowns. So pretty good for ECU for guys returning for next year or this upcoming season. So and their offense is a spread for their offense. All right, for NC State, they got a lot of guys coming back this year. Of course, C.J. Bailey, who's a solid quarterback, he was a freshman last year. Dave Doran definitely needs to use him better like he did that he didn't do last year. A lot of NC State fans hoping that C.J. Bailey will be used the way he's supposed to use in the offensive schemes. So I think he'll do really well this year. He's I guess he's a underappreciated quarterback because he's a freshman, but hey, I think he'll do well this year. I think he's gonna be a solid guy. 196 completions to 302 attempts, 64.9 completion percentage, had 2,413 passing yards, 8.0 average per throw, 17 touchdowns, 10 interceptions. Definitely need to get those interceptions decreased this year. Hollywood Smothers, running back, 89 carries, 571 rushing yards, average about 6.4 per carry, had 6 touchdowns last year. So their offense will be I think they'll be good on offense this upcoming season. Noah Rogers, who's returning, 35 receptions, 478 passing yards, average about 13.7 per catch, had 1 touchdown last year, and their offense is a multiple. It all lies on Dave Doran's offensive schemes. I know a lot of fans dislike his offense, so hopefully for a NC State fan perspective, they hope that NC State will do a lot better on offense. All right, so top 3 defensive players. We got Raheem Craig, defensive lineman, had 53 total tackles, 18 solo, 6.0 tackles for losses, 2 sacks, 1 QB hit, and 1 pass deflection. Pretty solid for him. Linebacker Samuel Danka had 34 total tackles, 10 solo, 6.5 tackles for losses, 3 sacks, 1 quarterback hit or QB hit, 2 forced fumbles, 1 interception, 2 pass deflections. Pretty good for him as a linebacker too. Jamarly Riddle had 63 total tackles, 27 solo, 3 interceptions, 1 pick 6, and 4 pass deflections. So pretty good for him too. And their defense is a 4-2-5 defense. All right, for NC State, we got defensive lineman Brandon Cleveland, had 36 total tackles, 10 solo, 3.5 tackles for loss, 0.5 sack. I guess that's like an assist. 5 QB hits and 1 pass deflection. Solid year for him. Linebacker Sean Brown, 96 total tackles, 50 solo, 8.5 tackles for loss, 3.0 sacks, 13 QB hits, 2 forced fumbles, 1 pass deflection. So for Sean to come back for NC State, that is massive. And so he had a solid year last year. A defensive back, J.J. Johnson, who's a transfer, he had 69 total tackles, 38 solo, 1 tackle for loss, and of course 1 QB hit and 6 pass deflections. So a lot of key guys coming back, and also NC State adding some key guys from the portal. So that'll be interesting to see. All right, so team stats for ECU. Passing yards, they had 264.0, which ranked 27th in the nation. The rushing wasn't so bad. They had 172.4 average, so then they ranked 50th in the nation. Their offense was pretty solid, 32.0, which is ranked 35th in the nation, but their defense was awful, which allowing almost 30 points per game, which is 27.3, which they ranked 83rd in the nation. Total yards on offense, 436.4, and for defense, the total yards allowed 405.2, so not great for them. Passing yards allowed, I guess that's why they struggled. 235 yards allowed, and rushing to 169.8. Then we got NC State. Their offense was not great last year. They had 232.6 passing yards on offense, ranked 58th in the nation. The rushing yards was okay, 145.2, but they're ranked 83rd in the nation. Points for 28.5, ranked 63rd. And their defense was just abysmal last year, which they ranked 103rd in the nation, which is not great at all. So 30.2, which is crazy. Total yards on offense, they had 377.8 yards on offense. Defense, total yards allowed, 391.6. Passing yards allowed, 226.3 yards allowed on defense. Rushing yards, not so bad, 149.5 rushing yards allowed. All right, so this is going to be something new that I'm going to add on to this video, or just add on to my prediction or way too early prediction series. I don't know if what the whole point metric system for efficiency is. So if you guys know, comment down below, because I was a little confused trying to do this, just to add on something to the video as well. So ECU out of 100 was ranked 86 for 43 And I guess 50 is average, which is good. So I guess is bad for total on offense. So offense they were ranked 100th, which is not so great. 36.6 out of 100. Defense was ranked 77th, 47.5 out of 100. So the whole efficiency thing, I still need to learn what that really means. So if you guys know what that means, comment down below and teach me like I'm 5'5". All right, so extra stats for NC State. They were ranked 92 on total overall with 46.2 out of 100. Offense, they're ranked 40th, they're ranked 85th in the nation, which is 40.1 out of 100. Defense, they're ranked 84th, which is 44 points out of 100. So there you guys have it for the extra stats, which is going to be the new thing, or new segment for this video. All right, so the final prediction of this video. Most people think that since I'm a UNC fan, I'm going to go with ECU, but I'm actually not. I'm going to go with NC State on this one. I think that NC State wants revenge on this game. It's going to be electric. The night games are always electric, and I think that the score is going to be 27-21. I think it's going to be a very close game. I still think that NC State is going to pull this off and win and get revenge on ECU, but this is going to be a highly intense game. It's going to be very interesting to watch. And I'm gonna try to pay attention to this because I know there's gonna be some other games on as well. So this will be a fun one to watch because both teams hate each other. And to start out this with week 1 is gonna be electric. All right, guys, Seth Ward here. Hope you all enjoy this video. Like, comment, subscribe. Thanks for watching, and you all have a great rest of the day. And peace out.